Welcome back to Leon County Today. I'm Giovanni Hampton with Sheriff Walt McNeil. Sheriff, there's a topic that never leaves this table, our youth in the community.
Well, you know, our issues are what I call generational with respect to there are pockets of communities in Leon County that have negative impacts on our kids and have for generations. And that's where we're trying to step in to break the generational issues mostly related to education problems, jobs, and housing. And I'm happy to say that both the city and county are engaged working with Leon County Sheriff's Office, Tallahassee Police Department, and all our state and federal partners. We understand the problem. The idea is to come up with solutions that make sense and are timely in a way that has an impact on us where it's sustainable. And that's the piece we miss quite often, is making sure that what we put in place is sustainable.
And you mentioned, breaking certain things, patterns that happen within the community, and the partnerships, because law enforcement can't do it alone.
Oh, absolutely not. That's the first thing we talk about, and that's what we came up with the affirmation, all in. And what that speaks to is we have to have our citizens, our elected officials at every level engaged with an understanding what the plan is. And for us, the plan is to impact our youth, and if we do it in the right way, it'll last for generations, as opposed to crime and the violence lasting for generations. And that's the impetus of what we're trying to put together.
And then there's a special topic that a lot of people in the community like to mention, and that's the Council on the Status of Men and Boys.
It's the first cohesive, I guess I'd say, research-based effort that we put together in Leon County to address these problems. Now, I've heard people say we didn't have to have the research done. We already knew those issues, but to quantify the effort and to get other people to come in from a national level and federal dollars to flow in, we have to have the research that backs up what we believe intuitively.
Absolutely. Well, speaking of that partnership in the council, coming up next, an update on the Council of the Status of Men and Boys and how they are assembling the youth for a positive message.
Good morning. I'm Detective Kelly Womack with the Violent Crimes Unit, and this is your Crime Tip Tuesday.
Bad actors are actively impersonating legitimate agencies, businesses, and individuals. Stay alert and protect your personal information. Here are 5 common scam tactics to recognize. One sign of a scam could be high-pressure tactics, urging you to act fast to stop you from thinking thoroughly. Another sign of a scam is if the caller demands a payment through an unusual method, such as through gift cards, wire transfer, or cryptocurrency. If you receive an email claiming you've won a prize, inherited money, or found an amazing deal that requires upfront fees, this could be a scam known as the too good to be true offer. The 5th common scam tactic is through impersonation. If someone calls saying they are an employee at the Leon County Sheriff's Office and is demanding a payment, hang up. This is a scam.
And that's your Crime Tip. Have a great day.
Matthew.
Huh? Oh, sorry.
It's okay. I just need you to listen to me.
I know that a lot of times, Mom, it might not seem like I'm listening to you, but I am. I hear you. And what you say really does matter to me.
I mean, let's be honest. No kid likes rules, but I get why we have them. I hear you, and I know it's because you care.
All the talks we've had over the years, including what you've told me about not using alcohol and other drugs, they stick with me. And believe it or not, they really do make a difference, especially at times that matter most.
Hey, want a drink?
No thanks, I'm good. So thank you, Dad, for talking and preparing me for what's ahead.
Thanks, Mom, for never giving up and always being my biggest fan.
Thank you for letting me know what you expect, so I can try to meet your expectations.
Thank you for talking.
For more information about talking with your kids about underage use of alcohol and other drugs, visit underagedrinking.samhsa.gov.
An email from the post office? How do they even know my email address?
They don't. This is a bogus email sent by scammers that looks like it is coming from the Postal Service, or even the Postmaster General himself. The email contains fraudulent information about an attempted or intercepted package delivery, and provides a link to click on to find out when delivery is expected. But that click can activate a virus, which can steal personal information such as usernames, passwords, or financial account numbers stored on the computer or mobile devices. Here are some telltale signs that an email is bogus. It contains poor grammar or spelling errors. It states that immediate action must be taken or there'll be dire consequences. It requests personal information under the guise of reconfirming information. The Postal Service does not notify customers about package delivery attempts by email. If you receive such a message, don't open it. Instead, forward it to spam@uspis.gov and then delete the email.
Welcome back. Joining me now is Royle King, Executive Director of the Council on the Status of Men and Boys, created following the findings of the LCSO Anatomy of a Homicide report as a way of impacting violent crime in our community. Royle, tell us, our viewers, about exactly what is the Council on the Status of Men and Boys, and what have you guys been doing for this community?
Yeah, so a lot. We need a segment to get into all of it, but to kind of shortly summarize it, the council is in place to unify those efforts for violence reduction. So social service organizations, partnership with the schools, all of the intersections in the life of someone who could go down a path of violence. And so, in short, our mission is to unify those efforts and reduce some of the issues we see that have led us to where we see a large number of homicides between men and boys in our community, predominantly African American males, and putting in interventions and a strategy to help reduce some of those opportunities for violence, and then to try to give them chances to make different choices before they end up in a homicide incident.
Royle, you know, one of the things, the premise of this was particularly trying to hit those zip codes in our community that are plagued with all kinds of issues and problems. What have we done from your perspective with respect to meeting that need we have in our community?
So a lot. And so one of the things I'm proud of is that we've been boots on the ground in some of those neighborhoods where we're seeing that high violence happening. So in those zip codes, yes, but in those specific neighborhoods with outreach. And so trying to bring resources to those residents, but also intervention for some of those individuals who are going down a path of that and, you know, like you often say, have gotten themselves where they're too far gone and letting law enforcement do what they do. So I'm really proud that we've formed really deep relationships in those neighborhoods, working with neighborhood associations, helping them establish crime watches if there's a need, like in Frenchtown. And so really being boots on the ground in that space. And we've been successful. One thing I do want to highlight was also training our residents, because we're small. And when you look at the global size of our community, and so training residents that live in those neighborhoods to be able to understand when the signs for opportunities to improve the neighborhood so that they're deterrent to violence. When a place is not upkept, it's a higher likelihood that individuals who desire to do bad are going to take over those spaces. But really kind of training our citizens at a high level and bringing in national partners to help us do that.
You're doing a great job. Now, let's talk about, for a minute, what do we call those, the call-outs?
Call-ins.
Call-ins. Let's talk about the call-ins. What's that all about and how did it get established?
Yes, and so a call-in meeting, essentially, a lot of people think it's a Zoom call, but it's an in-person meeting where individuals who have come into our contact because they have a high risk factor for being involved in violent crime as a victim or offender in our community, we spend a lot of time forming a relationship with them to invite them to this meeting. Where, of course, you're there, the state attorney's there. We've got one of our partners who lost her son in a violence incident here. And there's individuals from our detention center we bring to just kind of give them that warning and opportunity of, hey, listen, we want to help you on the front end as much as we can help you, but also you got to make a choice. And so we've seen a lot of success with those meetings. The hard part is you're not going to save everyone. We have the heart to, but we recognize we're not. But those who've come, we've started to see a lot of changes in their behavior and working towards the right path. And it's not overnight. We're talking about small things, but when you're connected to a lot of negativity and you've grown up in those spaces, a small win is a huge one for us.
Absolutely. Royle, in we got about a minute before we take a break here, but talk about the changes you've made in the Leon County Sheriff's Office that makes us more effective.
So one of the biggest one was the merging and partnership with School Resource, because they see a lot of things that our team just wasn't able to see. They're involved as a part of that, and then coming under law enforcement. And so now we're all connected and working together. So when they're in a community and they're responding to a home, they make sure they notify us. When something happens at the school, whether it be violent or like, man, this kid is starting to go down that wrong path. They're informing us, and so we're able to do both the prevention and intervention to hopefully save some lives in our community. It's been huge.
Well, Royle, again, I can't say enough about the effort and your team's effort. And we're going to talk about that in more detail in just a minute. Thank you, Royle. When we come back, we'll talk about new initiatives happening inside of Leon County's Title I schools, what recent community surveys have revealed, and what we're going to do next. Stay tuned.
I don't remember how it started.
Go to that.
Our back and forth. It always came back.
Dad!
You probably don't remember what you told me,
That was perfect.
but I heard every word.
Human trafficking is slavery.
And it happens all over America.
Any child, any woman, any man could potentially become a victim of human trafficking.
I am a victim of labor trafficking.
I was victim of child sex trafficking, but now I own my body.
Human trafficking is any kind of forced labor.
It can happen to anybody.
I am a mother.
I am an author.
I am a son.
I'm an advocate.
I am an educator.
I'm a sister.
I am a brother.
I'm so much more than what happened to me.
I am strong.
I am brave.
I am outspoken.
I am compassionate.
I am a survivor.
I'm a survivor.
I am a survivor.
I am a survivor.
I am a survivor.
I am a survivor of human trafficking.
The drug landscape has changed. Illegal fentanyl has made its way into the drug supply. And it's a danger you might not see coming. A synthetic opioid up to 50 times stronger than heroin, up to 100 times stronger than morphine. It only takes the tiniest amount to cause a fatal overdose. A fraction of a raindrop, or 3 grains of salt. Your drugs don't come with an ingredients list. Although fentanyl is being mixed into almost every kind of drug, you wouldn't be able to see it, or smell it, or taste it. Fentanyl is one of the most common drugs involved in overdose deaths. Know the dangers. Learn the facts about fentanyl and ways to protect yourself at cdc.gov/stop-overdose.
Welcome back. We're continuing our conversation with Royle King, Executive Director of the Council on the Status of Men and Boys. One of the newest initiatives involves assemblies, events that are taking place in Title I schools throughout Leon County. Royle, tell us about those efforts and exactly who's involved in that effort.
Yeah, so we've been doing these, we call them Voices for Change, but they're gun violence assemblies. And so, again, the state attorney is a partner in that, the sheriff's office, obviously, Tallahassee Police Department. We've brought in some human resource organizations, CCYS, to be our partners in the schools. And so
we're all in, huh?
We're all in.
All right.
We're all in. And so a lot of what we've started to see in the referrals that students are getting in these schools is that they don't understand, in a lot of cases, the adult consequences for some of the decisions they're making, particularly with weapons on campus, weapons in their homes, and accessing those even though that they're juveniles, but also the laws around inappropriate messaging. It's a huge barrier. They just don't understand. And so a big part of those have been educating them to that. But then also we've partnered with Florida A&M, and they've brought in a lot of their organizations, and we saw a lot of success there because I'm the old guy. I don't feel old, but to a middle schooler, I'm old. But a college student, they can see themselves and like, wow, I want to do music. He's doing music. And hearing how they had some struggles and now they're in college, they're a part of organizations and being successful, I can do that too. And so that has been a huge piece, the young people hearing from a little bit older young people than them.
Okay, let's stay on that subject just a minute now. In terms of, you're talking about young kids and having college kids come and talk to them, but when I was there at one of those, it occurred to me that the girls, we don't talk about the girls enough. People think we're the Council of Status of Men and Boys, but we deal with girls as well. Talk about that for a minute.
Yeah, and so we get a lot of, from those schools, referrals for young ladies, and we're trying to connect them to some of those same opportunities, even the call-in meetings. Those aren't just restricted to guys. It's for young ladies who are at high risk for being victims or offenders of gun violence too. And so a lot of times the perception isn't always the reality, but one of the things we wanted to do with this last assembly was be intentional about that, because the question was raised. And so when we partnered with FAMU, they gave us so many ladies in leadership, we didn't know what to do, who had their own stories of overcoming stuff. And so oddly enough, the girls are becoming some of what we're seeing from the school side, more the referrals and stuff for. And so it's important for us to have those interventions and connections with them as well.
Yeah, one of the things I'm most concerned about, obviously, is are the girls. When I was at the school there, even in the setting we were in, they were kind of acting up. So I'm happy to see that we're engaged in doing that. But what are the kind of things you're doing? I think there's a survey you guys are doing right now. Talk about that survey.
Yeah, so man, we just completed our 2025 gun violence survey. So we did the first one in 2023. And as we were forming our reduction plan, it led those efforts. And so we came back again to assess, but this time be more intentional. And we did a lot of outreach in those zip codes where we saw the high crime. And so I don't want to, spoil the cheese just yet, but when we release it, it showed us a lot. But it's important because we've got to have community input in what we're doing, because you can't go into somebody's house and tell them how to fry the bacon or turn the grits. You got to kind of see how they're doing it, and then, okay, let me show you this other way to cook that bacon. Maybe in the oven instead on the stove.
All right. Well, let's talk a minute, though, about the research and what have you guys found in terms of public safety, and what are some of the recommendations that are coming out? So what we found was that perceptions have changed since we've been working. So a lot of people in those neighborhoods, we saw a lot of data around them not feeling safe. Well, since 23 to now, a lot of that has changed. And some of that is because of the work we've been doing with working with those neighborhood associations, doing community canvassing, cleanups, educations, and so trying to bring in some of those resources to help support families. So that was a big one. Also, opportunities for the youth, and so connecting with some more human service organizations to bring resources into those neighborhoods. And so we saw those two really change significantly, and people's perception of crime. I think the first time we did it, they had a misconception, and so from that to now, we saw where that percentage went lower to where they've got a better understanding that it's not as just kids with guns. It's a little more sauce to it than that. Great. Thank you, Royle. Just ahead in our Deputy on Duty segment, reentry-ready clothing, the comeback, how you can help citizens returning from incarceration back into our community. Stay with us.
A 19-second conversation with a stranger online can put your child in danger of being exploited or abused.
Talking to kids about online safety can protect us for a lifetime. Don't wait. Talk to us today.
When it comes to vaping, the truth can get clouded. So let's make it clear. Vaping is not safe for kids, teens, or young adults. It's just not.
Because vaping can put microscopic particles into your lungs.
And dangerous things like metals and volatile organic compounds into your body.
And nicotine, the same highly addictive substance found in regular cigarettes.
Nicotine can harm a person's brain development through their mid-20s.
Affecting learning, memory, attention, and impulse control, and priming the brain for other addictions.
Vaping products also come in kid-friendly flavors that can make them appealing to youth.
And many kids also use other drugs, like marijuana, in vaping devices.
With appealing flavors, high nicotine levels, and lots of promotion on social media,
many kids think vaping is harmless, but it's not.
So talk to your kids about the risks of vaping, because when you talk, they hear you.
At the Florida Sheriff's Association, we are able to serve our sheriffs and Floridians thanks to our member support. The FSA Member Perks program was created to give back to our members for all that they do. Members enjoy savings on restaurants, vacations, golf courses, car rentals, healthcare, movie tickets, theme parks, online shopping, and more. With over 300,000 offers, you'll always find ways to save. To learn more or to join the Florida Sheriff's Association, visit fsamemberperks.org.
On this episode of Deputy on Duty, LCSO is clothing the comeback with Goodwill Industries of the Big Bend.
The Clothing Comeback Initiative is a collaboration between the Leon County Sheriff's Office and Goodwill Industries Big Bend. And we're inviting the community to help us help those who are reentering the workforce after any type of justice involvement. This is going to provide vouchers for clothing. Individuals who are seeking employment, going on interviews, need an outfit for confidence and obviously for success.
The goal isn't just providing clothing, it's building confidence. These vouchers will give individuals the choice to select their own sizing and attire.
It's one thing to give a person a white shirt and a pair of khakis. That's a very beneficial thing to do, but it's difficult to maintain the right sizes, the right fit, those items that a person needs. So at Goodwill, we work with organizations such as the Leon County Sheriff's Office, and we provide vouchers in return for donations. Then an individual is given a voucher by the Sheriff's Department, and they can go to any of our stores. They can select the items that they need. We sell gently used items, and we also sell new goods like socks and things like that that a person's going to need when they get started.
The Leon County Sheriff's Office has a long-lasting partnership with Goodwill Industries, making the decision to collaborate with them on reentry initiatives and providing individuals a second chance at life an easy choice.
We have been longtime partners in various ways with the Leon County Sheriff's Office. We're all about second chances. We not only provide services for those looking for a second chance, but we are a second chance employer. So we have had a long-standing relationship with Sheriff McNeil and his team.
This event wouldn't have been possible without the community's support.
Folks want to help. And we saw so many smiling faces dropping off gently used items and new clothing for these individuals. We can't all do everything, but all of us can do something. And collectively, we really can change these communities and make everyone stronger for tomorrow.
For one community member, donating was personal. Having worked inside a prison, he understands just how crucial reentry support can be.
Well, I'm retired from the Federal Bureau of Prisons, so I worked for the Federal Bureau of Prisons for 22 years, so I know plenty of people that's been incarcerated. And one of the things that you got to do is once they get out, they got to re-entry back in the community. So we got to make sure that they re-entry back in the community with assistance.
If you're an employer looking for help, giving someone a second chance could mean gaining a hardworking and dedicated employee.
Employers who offer opportunities for those looking for a second chance are often amazed. Some of our best employees have had some type of justice involvement and made the decision to turn their life around, and they've been phenomenal investments for us. So,
for those looking for a fresh start, the message is clear. Tomorrow is a new day.
Never give up. There's always tomorrow, and there are so many resources for those who really want to have a second chance. We're here at Goodwill. Sheriff McNeil and his office is available. So if there's a desire for a second chance, do not give up. It's a great opportunity. Tomorrow is always a new day.
If you would like to give back to your community, visit leoncountyso.com for more information. For Leon County Today, I'm Giovanni Hampton.
Download the Leon County Sheriff's Office mobile app right now. Our mobile app makes it easier than ever to report a crime and get important safety alerts. And follow reported crimes in your neighborhood, all in one convenient location in the palm of your hands. Download LCSO Connect right now. It's free in the Apple App Store and Google Play by searching LCSO Connect. You can more details about the features of the app on our website, leoncountyso.com.
Hey everybody, it's gonna be just plain hot out there.
In 70-degree weather, it takes only minutes for the inside of your car to heat up like an oven. At 104 degrees, heat stroke begins, followed by loss of consciousness. Every year, almost 40 children die of heat stroke after being forgotten in a vehicle. A simple change in daily routine is often the cause. Look before you lock. Brought to you by Kids in Cars.
Another teenager, victim to fake pills. That smells like big crime that needs to be stopped. Before buying pills online, think about this. Should buying prescription pills be this easy?
Yeah, bro, I'm picking up. Same guy. I bet. Got you 5.
Think these pills are tested and safe? Think they're the same ones you get from a doctor? You know they're not. Did you know that fake prescription pills may contain fentanyl? And an amount small enough to fit on the tip of a pencil can be lethal. Listen. Before buying pills from social media, think again. Learn more at mcgruffpsa.org and go for real.
Wow, Sheriff, after hearing that conversation with Royle, I mean, it's clear that the efforts needed for the youth go beyond a single program.
Absolutely. The Title I schools are big. That's a big step forward for us in terms of trying to get into those schools, get with the parents and the families early and see if we can have those interventions. I like the fact we have the call-outs where we've got the state attorney, myself, and others, but that's kids that are in trouble.
Yeah.
We want to deal with the kids before they get in trouble.
And then you mentioned, you know, having a focus and an emphasis on young girls.
Oh, yes.
How important is that, and what is the call to action to the community?
Well, it's huge. What we find is, and this is we usually do scientific research, but this is just the sheriff talking. What I've observed is that many of the girls are, in fact, getting the guys involved in some of the criminal things that are taking place, and they're engaging with those young boys. And we've got to have some way of having some intersections into that reality within our community.
And then, I mean, just in general, community effort. We just watched a segment about the reentry ready, clothing the comeback, another heavy involvement, asking for the community to be involved to help those recently incarcerated.
And the good thing is, as you know, people came out in droves, returning clothing and giving to the inmates there. And that's what Leon County is all about. We're all in.
It's amazing having so many opportunities presented to them individually and setting them up for success.
No question.
For those of you who are interested in being involved, there's always an opportunity at the Leon County Sheriff's Office to drop off gently used clothing items. We'll see you again next week.